students, today we will learn about communication technology. The rapid increase in the use of computers in almost every walk of life has generated a need to use the same data at different locations. One way of doing it is to keep the same data files at separate locations across the globe. This involves frequent transferring of data from one computer to multiple computers which are present at the same or distant locations. The continuous data transfer is a costly affair which results in redundancy of data and increased storage costs. Students, can you quickly reply which hardware and software devices can be shared on a computer network? Data communication means sending data electronically from one computer to another. It involves linking of computers, which allows the resources of one computer to be shared by the other. Computers located within the same complex can communicate through a cable. But the computers which are located at faraway locations use as telecommunication system for data communication. For example, in case of banking or reservation system, communication facilities like telephone systems or microwave relays are used to send data. With a telecommunication system, we can electronically mail a message from one place to another and receive the reply immediately. Before moving forward, let us first discuss about computer networks. A computer network is a group of computers and peripheral devices connected through a data communication system. A computer network facilitates the sharing of hardware and software resources among different users working on different computers. These shared resources can be data files, any application software or hardware devices like printers, modems, etc. There are several advantages of computer networking which are discussed below. Let us talk about advantages of network. In a computer network, information is usually stored at a central location. The aim of networking is to share resources. Computer network brings more efficiency, economy and effectiveness in an organization. The key advantages of networking are hardware sharing. In a network, we can share almost every peripheral device such as printer, scanner, modem, CD writer, etc. among several computers. All these devices are attached to a remote server which is shared among multiple computers. This reduces the cost of hardware. Software sharing. Every application software can be installed on the main server rather than installing it on every computer individually. Computers in a network can use the required software from the server. This technique saves costs as well as time. Students, let us know more. ICT is used as a general term for all kinds of technologies which enable users to create, access and manipulate information. ICT is a combination of information and communication technology. Efficiency of hardware and software resources. In a network, modifications in software or hardware are done at a single point. Since the resources are installed at a single point, all modifications are done at that point rather than individual computers. Reduces redundancy. In a common workplace, since people use the same data, they can share it over a network by saving and storing it centrally. This also reduces the redundancy of the same data. Saves paper and time. Networks also reduce the need for generating multiple hard copies of the same document. People working in a common workplace can share reports through the network, which saves both time and paper. Internet sharing. A network reduces the cost of installing internet facility into individual computer. A corporate internet connection is powerful enough to provide this facility to all computers in a network. All systems can enjoy the benefits of internet in a network. Security. Since the server contains all the software and hardware, hence the security of the server is of great importance. If we take care of the data on the server, then all the corresponding data in that network becomes secure. Okay students, let us understand network components. Server. A server is a powerful computer or a series of computers with high speed and great processing capability. It can link other computers or electronic devices together over servers to provide important services to both private and public users. For example, when you enter a query in a search engine, the query is sent from your computer over the internet to the servers that store all the relevant web pages. The results are then sent back by the servers to your computer. It is always advisable to have servers with dedicated functionality such as web servers, print servers, and database servers. Client. A client is a computer system which uses a network to access a remote service from the server. It can access all the applications or information from the main server. A client is also known as a node. Students, let us know more. A thin client is a client that depends on the server for information and data processing. The term thin client was coined in 1993 by Tim Nogues, Vice President of Server Marketing at Oracle Corporation. Network Interface Card (NIC). It is a small piece of computer hardware, a LAN card, which facilitates the communication between different computers over a network. The NIC identifies every single node in a network by providing a unique physical address to it. This address is stored on the chip which is mounted on the card. Students, let us take a discussion on client and server. Mode of connection. Computer networks can be classified on the basis of both hardware and software technology, which is used to interconnect the individual devices in a network, such as optional fiber, Ethernet, or wireless LAN. All the nodes in a network are connected through basic hardware components such as NICs, bridges, hubs, switches, and routers. These hardware components are further connected to each other by cables. Modem. Modem stands for modulator, demodulator. We know that a computer only understands the language of 0 and 1, that is binary language. Suppose you want to view a website, say http://www.google.co.in. The modem from the sender side, terminal or web server modulates the digital data into a signal which is compatible with the telephone line, that is analog signals. The receiving modem at your workplace demodulates this analog signal back into digital data. Hence, the modem modulates as well as demodulates the signal. Speed of a modem is measured in bps, bits per second. Wireless modems convert digital data into radio signals and vice versa. There are two types of modems, wireless modem and cable modem. Number 1. Wireless modem. A wireless modem connects the computer to a wireless network instead of a telephone system. When a mobile internet user connects using a wireless modem, he or she directly gets attached to the wireless internet service provider (ISP) and then can access the internet. Number 2. Cable modem. A cable modem provides data communication through a device that remains outside the computer and is connected with wires. It connects to the internet using a broadband access through a telephone line. Students, let us take a quick quiz. What do you understand by data communication? Alright, let me tell you about networking terms. Intranet. Intranet refers to a computer network within an organization. Intranet uses the Internet Protocol technology to share any part of information securely. Intranet is generally restricted to the employees of an organization. For example, the employees of the same bank are interlinked with each other through the intranet. The private information cannot be accessed by any outside person. Extranet. Extranet refers to a computer network that allows controlled access from the outside for specific business or educational purposes. For example, the customers of a private bank can access the bank's website and make financial transactions. It does not grant access to an organization's entire network. It is only part of a company's intranet that can be accessed by users outside the company. Let us learn about types of network. There are 4 basic types of computer networks. Number 1 LAN, number 2 MAN, number 3 WAN, number 4 PAN. Number 1 Local Area Network, LAN. Local area network is used when 2 or more computers or peripheral devices are connected within a small area like a room, office building or a campus. The maximum range of LAN can be 10 km. The number of computers in a LAN varies from 2 to 1,000. A LAN consists of the following components: 2 or more computers, software to control the operation of computers, peripheral devices like printers, scanners, etc., cables to connect the computers. Number 2, Metropolitan Area Network (MAN). Metropolitan area network is much larger than a LAN setup and is spread across a city. Since it can cover an entire city, it is called MAN. The most common example of a MAN-type network in our daily life is cable television network. The maximum range of MAN can be 50 km. Number 3. Wide Area Network WAN. Wide Area Network comes into picture when we have two or more computers located at faraway places linked by communication facilities like telecommunication or satellite signals. The most common example of a WAN-type network in our daily life is telecom system. The usage of WAN is limited to a very large organizations and government agencies. The main characteristics of WAN is that it requires a public telecommunication media to transfer data. Number 4. Personal Area Network PAN. This type of computer network is mainly created for an individual person. It consists of a desktop or laptop computer, a mobile phone or a handheld computing device such as a PDA or a smartphone. You can use these networks to transfer files including email, calendar appointments, digital photos and music. Personal area networks generally cover a range of less than 10 meters, about 30 feet. Let us talk about Internet. Internet is a network of millions of computers which are connected to each other to share information and resources. Computers on the Internet use remote server machines to share files and devices with the user machine. With Internet, you can review newspapers, magazines and books, listen to music, watch movies, play games, keep yourself updated with current events, go for online shopping, know about recipes, check airline schedules, railway reservations, send email and much more. Therefore, it is the best example of WAN. In India, Internet services started on 15 August 1995 through a government-owned company called VSNL, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited. Private Internet service providers like Airtel, Reliance, Sifi, Tata, etc. have also been allowed to provide Internet services. Alright students, let us understand Internet terms. Web page. The pages of a website are known as web pages. A web page may include images, text, hot links, video, audio, etc. Website. A website is just like a book. As a book contains a number of pages, a website consists of a number of web pages that hold large amount of information. Various types of websites are available on the Internet such as educational websites, job websites, entertainment websites, etc. Students, let us recall what is the difference between a web server and www. World Wide Web (WWW). The World Wide Web is a collection of documents stored on computers around the world. These documents are available on the Internet and contain a wide variety of resources such as text, graphics, multimedia, etc. Hyperlinks. Web pages contain highlighted text or images called hyperlinks. By clicking on these links, you can move from one page to another. You can easily identify a hyperlink on a web page as it appears with an underline and is usually blue in color. Web server. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when someone asks you about a web server? If we simply break the term, it would mean a server which is responsible for providing web content. A web server can be any of the following. A computer program which delivers web content using HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol over the World Wide Web (WWW). A computer or virtual machine which runs the program of delivering web content. Students, note the fact HTTP is the standard protocol used by a server to receive requests and send back the required information over the Internet. Web browser. A web browser is an application software used to view and interpret web pages. It acts as an interface between the user and the World Wide Web. A browser enables the user to request for web pages from a web server and view the requested web pages on their computer screen. The commonly used web browsers are Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Netscape Navigator, Apple, Safari and Google Chrome. Students, do you know Google Chrome was developed by Google and was released in 2008 for Microsoft Windows? Uniform Resource Locator (URL). An address or location of a website on the Internet is called its URL. To visit any website, we should know its URL. Some examples of URLs are www.rediffmail.com, www.yahoo.com, www.hotmail.com, www.indiatimes.com, etc. Interspace. The interspace is a vision of what the Internet will become in the near future. It will enable the users to cross-correlate the information in the multiple ways from multiple sources. The interspace will offer distributed services to transfer concepts across different domains. The technical functionality of the future information infrastructure will focus more on information analysis. As Internet evolves into the interspace, the basic model of user interaction will change. Physical machines will be replaced by information objects. A typical session with the net will be like a reference session in a library, navigating its way through multiple sources to achieve increased satisfaction. It will no more be a mere connection to a database in order to obtain the correct answer for a specific query. Classification of collections will be needed at many levels at a variety of users so as to provide the semantic underpinnings required for interconnection in the interspace. Indexing in the net will become a key addition for the interspace. An index is the classification of a group of objects that enables effective search for a particular type of collection. Today there are many clients, servers and gateways, but very few indexes. Classification at many levels is what enables the reference librarians to guide patrons through a physical library. Currently, large indexes are maintained by big organizations for different types of objects covering media books, journals, artworks, movies, recordings. In addition, there are many indexes at higher meta levels covering sources, example magazines, subjects, example engineering and other categories. While using the Internet, the indexes for formal collections must be supplemented by the indexes for informal collections, such as those for communities, example molecular biologists who study a particular organism, groups, example those labs in this community that study egg fertilization, or individuals, example the subcollections of my local lab. Thus, analysis in the interspace will become a powerful long-term asset. A user who navigates a path through multiple sources will indicate what he or she is interested in. The system locates similar paths elsewhere in the net after mapping the vocabulary from repository to repository. Hence, in the near future, we shall have better intersecting graphs which will match the concepts present in a user's mind. Students, let us discuss about uses of Internet. Number 1. Education. Internet is widely used by students, scholars as well as teachers for research and education. Nowadays, several online educational programs are available where students can study and participate through video conferencing. IGNOU is one such university which offers this facility. Online forms and results of online tests are also available through the Internet. Number 2. Mailing letters. Electronic mail is one of the most popular features of the Internet. It allows you to send and receive messages for free. You can also attach pictures, videos, sounds to your email message and send it to anyone around the world. Number 3. Business. The business organizations use Internet to maintain complex financial databases. Meetings can be scheduled and conducted through video conferencing facility. Railways, airways and hotel reservations can be made through the Internet. Number 4. E-commerce. We come across many forms of business commerce in our day-to-day life. For example, when we buy goods from a shop, we are participating in commerce. Commerce means exchange of goods and services involving money. Every single business across the globe has been benefited from the Internet. Nowadays, many companies have their own portals or websites which are used for e-commerce. E-shopping has become one of the biggest industries in the world. You can now purchase goods such as books, clothes, gift items or even electronic gadgets from different shopping portals around the world. This scenario change has become possible only with the proper utilization of the Internet. Example, www.flipkart.com, www.olx.com and www.quicker.com. Time for Fact File. A transceiver stands for transmitter-receiver, a device that both transmits and receives analog or digital signals. Number 5. Media and entertainment. Television and live shows utilize the latest technology to telecast programs. Computer systems can download software via internet to watch live broadcasting of news and programs on television. Internet provides the facility to read different newspapers online and also acquire information regarding various topics such as politics, sports, education, etc. It keeps us updated with all the latest events across the globe. Number 6. Forums for discussion. Internet is used as a platform for discussion with like-minded people. Several professionals connect to various forums to discuss the latest techniques in their field of specialization. Number 7. Health and fitness. You can now have an all-time doctor at your service for providing health and fitness information. You can read more about various diseases, their cures and precautionary measures on the internet. Number 8. Tourism and travel. Internet provides us the facility of online booking of hotels, railways, tickets, air tickets, etc. across the globe at any time of the day. We can also cancel or reschedule our reservations online. Okay students, let us understand transmission medium. Computer network, being a communication system for computers, requires one or more transmitters and receivers, a message and a communication channel. The computers and other devices that communicate with each other on a network are called nodes or stations. In computer networks, most nodes function as transceivers, that is, they transmit as well as receive messages. A cable wire is the most common medium for communication. Other mediums include optical fiber, infrared light beams, and satellite signals. Data transmission occurs between the transmitters and receivers over a transmission medium. Transmission media can be classified into the following categories: transmission media, guided media, unguided media. In both the cases, communication happens in the form of electromagnetic waves. Guided media. This type of transmission includes cable wires to transmit the information from source to destination. The wire may be made up of copper, any other metal or glass fiber. It includes electrical and light signals to flow in these wires. These cables are very sensitive to the noise and this degrades the signals, also called as attenuation. Guided transmission media are classified on the basis of material used, such as Number 1. Twisted pair wire. Number 2. Coaxial cable. Number 3. Optical fiber cable. Number 4. Ethernet cable. Number 1. Twisted pair wire. Twisted pair cables were invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1881. The twisted pair wire is the most widely used medium for telecommunication and consists of copper wires that are twisted into pairs. Ordinary telephone wires consist of two insulated copper wires twisted in two pairs. Computer networking cable consists of 4 pairs of copper cabling that can be utilized for both voice and data transmission. The use of two wires twisted together help to reduce crosstalk and electromagnetic induction. The transmission speed ranges from 2 million to 100 million bits per second. Twisted pair cabling comes into two forms, that are unshielded twisted pair (UTP) and shielded twisted pair (STP). Students, note the fact file. Voice over Internet Protocol (VoIP) is used to make calls through your computer around the world via internet connection for free. It is an extremely popular service. Advantages: it is a thin, flexible cable that can easily be laid between walls. Multiple lines can run through the same wiring duct. The cost of this cable per meter or foot is lesser than any other type of LAN cable. Any incoming or outgoing electrical interfaces noise from the cable can be prevented. The chances of crosstalk is minimized. Disadvantages: the transmission signal becomes weak when the distance is long. Number 2. Coaxial cable. Coaxial cable was invented by an English engineer and mathematician, Oliver Heaviside, in 1880. The cable consists of a copper or aluminium wire wrapped with an insulating layer of a flexible material. There is an inner conductor and an outer conductor, both separated by an insulator. The layers of insulation help to minimize the interference and distortion. It is called coaxial cable as both the conductors share the same geometric axis. Transmission speed ranges from 200 million to more than 500 million bits per second. It is widely used for cable television systems, office buildings and other work sites for local area networks. The most common type of connector used with these cables is bayonet Neal concealment BNC connector. Advantages: highly resistant to signal interference. Transmission is better than twisted pair cable. Offer higher bandwidth up to 400 Hbps. Disadvantages: difficult to install and not suitable for long distance networks. Only one use in cable TV. The insulation of a coaxial cable may degrade, which would result into the replacement of the cable. It does not ensure data security as they can be taped. Expensive as compared to twisted pair cables. Number 3. Fiber optic cable or optical fiber cable. The optical fiber cable consists of a central glass core surrounded by several layers of protective materials. It transmits light instead of electronic signals, thus eliminating the problem of electrical interference. This makes it an ideal medium for environment without a large amount of electrical interference. Optical fiber cable has the ability to transmit signals over much longer distances than covered by coaxial and twisted pair. It also has the capability to carry information at a very high speed. This capacity broadens the communication possibilities to include services such as video conferencing and interactive services. Fibers are widely used in illumination applications. They are used as light guides in medical and other applications where bright light is needed for surgeries like endoscopy, non-invasive surgeries. The central core of fiber cable is made up of glass or plastic fibers. A plastic coating around the fiber cables then cushions the fiber center, and Calver fibers help to strengthen the cables and prevent breakage. The outer insulating jacket is made up of Teflon or PVC. There are two types of fiber cables, single mode and multi-mode. Multi-mode cable has a larger diameter. However, both cables provide high bandwidth at high speed. Single mode cable can cover larger distances, but they are relatively more expensive. Advantages: optical fibers are widely used in fiber optic communications, which permits transmission over longer distances and at a higher bandwidths. Fibers reduce loss of signal and there is no electromagnetic interference. They ensure high data security and they cannot be tapped. Disadvantages: it is quite tough to install the equipment of optical fibers. It is more expensive than any other guided media. Joining lengths of optical fiber is more complex than joining electrical wire or cable. Connection losses are common problems in optical fiber. Number 4. Ethernet cable. Ethernet cables are used to connect network devices such as modems, routers, hubs and adapters. They transmit data using the Ethernet protocol. They look similar to telephone jacks, which use 4 pins or 8 pins. Ethernet cable are of two types, straight through and crossover. A straight through Ethernet cable is the most commonly used cable, where the smaller cables inside the Ethernet cable on both ends will be in the same order of colors from left to right. An Ethernet crossover cable is used to connect computing devices together without the use of a hub or switch. These cables follow a cross-color code. If you are not sure about a cable and you can see the inside wires, colors, hold the two ends of the plugs up so that the same side of the plug is facing you. If the wire colors are in the same order in both, it is a straight-through cable, otherwise it is a crossover cable. Initially, Ethernet supported a maximum data transfer rate of 10 megabits per second (Mbps), but later on it got raised to 100 Mbps. Nowadays, using the gigabit Ethernet technology, the data transfer rate has gone up to 1000 Mbps. Advantages: conceptually simple. Ethernet cables are the simplest network cables which do not use any hubs, transceivers or other network devices. Relatively inexpensive. Ethernet cables are one of the most economical segment of network cables in comparison to USB-based cables. Noise immunity. The coaxial cable used in an Ethernet network is very well shielded and has a very high immunity from electrical noise caused by outside sources. Disadvantages: difficult to change. Usually in schools and offices, we use crossover Ethernet cables. Any change in cable requirements will result in wastage of time as it is not easy to connect the cables and understand the crossover color coding. Difficult troubleshooting. Ethernet networks are very difficult to troubleshoot. There is no easy way to determine what node or cable section is causing the problem, and the network must be troubleshooted by a process of elimination. This can be very time-consuming. Specialized cable. The type of coaxial cable used in Ethernet networks cannot be used for any other purpose. If we have to change the type of network in our office, then the entire cable will have to be replaced. Unguided media. The transmission in such a media is wireless. It is used to provide wireless network communication over short distances using radio or infrared signals instead of network cabling. The name wireless has been taken from the earlier days of radio. WLANs are built by attaching a device called the wireless access point (WAP) to the edge of the wired network. Clients communicate with the WAP using a wireless network adapter, similar in function to a traditional Ethernet adapter. Students, can you quickly reply, what is the difference between a LAN and a WAN? The key issue in wireless LAN is maintaining the security of the network. It has to be structured in such a way so as to avoid the unknown wireless clients from joining the WLAN. For example, Bluetooth, infrared and Wi-Fi. The common ways to establish wireless network are as follows. Number 1. Bluetooth wireless technology. Bluetooth is a wireless technology that lets you talk and share information like voice, music and videos. Bluetooth technology was invented in 1994 by engineers at Ericsson, a Swedish company. It is built into electronic gadgets. Students, let us know more. The name Bluetooth comes from the name of an ancient king, Harald Blatten of Denmark. Blatten is a Danish term which translates to Bluetooth in English. Bluetooth's founding members include Ericsson, IBM, Intel, Nokia and Toshiba. Mobile phone, FM radio and television all use different kinds of radio waves to send information such as audio and videos without using wires. Bluetooth technology also uses radio waves. The biggest difference between Bluetooth technology and devices like FM radio and TV is distance. Radios and TVs are meant to broadcast information to many people over miles or kilometers. Bluetooth technology sends information within its personal space, which is called the Personal Area Network or PAN. The maximum data transmission range of Bluetooth technology is 10 meters, 33 feet. Okay, students, let us take a discussion on guided media and unguided media. A product with Bluetooth means it has a piece of hardware as well as software to connect that product with other products wirelessly using the Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth technology was originally intended to be a wireless replacement for cables and wires between devices like phone headsets, computers, keyboards and mouse. Apart from these devices, the Bluetooth technology can connect TVs, music players and even home healthcare devices. With the rapid advancements in this technology, we can now create new connections that were not possible using wires, like connecting your mobile phone to your car stereo or printing a picture directly from your camera phone, etc. Advantages. Bluetooth devices have less potential hazard than mobile phones. With Bluetooth technology, it has become easier to use wireless services as security. Network address and permission configuration can be automated in comparison of any other networks. Number 2. Infrared wireless technology. Infrared means below red, derived from the Latin word infra meaning below, while red being the color of the longest wavelengths of visible light. Infrared light has a longer wavelength, a lower frequency than that of the red light. Infrared technology is used to send documents from portable computers to printers, to connect home entertainment systems and to exchange information between computers, cellular telephones and faxes. They require a line-of-sight connection between transmitter and receiver. Students, note the fact file. In 1800, infrared waves were discovered by the astronomer William Herschel. The light we see with our eyes is really a very small portion of what is called the electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum includes all types of radiation, starting from the X-rays in hospitals to the radio waves in telecommunication and even the microwaves to cook food. Although infrared radiation is not visible, but you can sense it as heat. If you want to have first-hand experience of the infrared radiation, then put your hand next to a hot oven. Students, let us know more. Each node in a computer network has a unique hardware address, MAC address, which enables it to communicate effectively within the network. A media access control address, MAC address, is assigned by the manufacturer of the network interface card, NIC. Using the NIC, a computer connects itself to a network. Radiation in the electromagnetic spectrum is often categorized by wavelength. Short wavelength radiation is of the highest energy and can be very dangerous. Gamma, X-rays and ultraviolet are examples of short wavelength radiation. Longer wavelength radiation is of lower energy and is usually less harmful. Examples include radio, microwaves and infrared. Infrared imaging is used extensively for military and civilian purposes. Military applications include surveillance, target acquisition, night vision and tracking. Non-military uses include short-range wireless communication, remote temperature sensing, spectroscopy and weather forecasting. Infrared communication between two devices span very short distances, that is within a few feet, ranging up to 5 feet of each other. Advantages of infrared WLAN. Higher security. Infrared light cannot penetrate through walls, so it is nearly impossible for an unauthorized person to eavesdrop on the system from outside the room. This also makes it difficult to stage service attacks on a system. No radio frequency RF interference. An infrared wireless LANs operate in the light frequency range. There is no possibility of either inward or outward interference with RF systems. In fact, an infrared wireless LAN can satisfy specific mobile applications, possibly ones requiring very high security in the midst of radio-based wireless LAN, without any consideration of RF interference. Students, let us know more. The term infrared was coined in 1882, meaning under red, as in below the spectrum of red color. Disadvantages of infrared WLAN. Limited range. Infrared light does not propagate through walls, which demands an access point in each room when providing coverage facility throughout. This could make the system very expensive. The limitation of range to a single room, however, enables a higher concentration of access points, which can provide relatively high capacity despite the lower data rates provided by infrared access points. Proprietary products. One of the biggest issues with an infrared wireless LAN is the lack of conformance with standards. As a result, the solutions are proprietary, which means that the transducers and access points must be from the same vendor. This limits the use of infrared wireless LANs to the scenarios where you have total management control over the client devices, which does not happen in the case of public hotspots, example airports and convention centers and large corporations. Number 3. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi stands for Wireless Fidelity. It is the name of a popular wireless networking technology that uses radio waves to provide wireless high-speed internet and network connections. The Wi-Fi Alliance, the organization that owns the Wi-Fi registered trademark, specifically defines Wi-Fi as any wireless local area network WLAN products that are based on the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers IEEE 802.11 standards. Wi-Fi networks use radio technologies to provide secure, reliable and fast wireless connectivity. A Wi-Fi network can be used to connect electronic devices to each other, to the internet and to the wired networks using Ethernet technology. Wi-Fi networks operate within 2.4 to 5 GHz radio bands, with some products containing both bands, dual band. They can provide real-world performance similar to basic wired networks. Everyone can use Wi-Fi almost anywhere in the world. Wi-Fi products can be used to do a lot of things like sending emails, streaming videos, linking international video conference calls, or linking a user to the internet from a plane which is 10,000 feet above the sea level in the air or just down the hallway. Home Wi-Fi networks can connect multiple devices to each other and to the internet via a single high-speed connection. A Wi-Fi network can share hardware and media resources such as printers, audio files, and internet access among different computers. This means everyone in a family can share stored files, photos, and documents and can print them through a single printer attached to one desktop computer, all without the physical cables running throughout the home. Advantages: it has replaced the wired medium completely and is used in wireless local area network applications. Wi-Fi reaches those places where cables cannot be installed, such as outdoor areas and historical buildings. Wi-Fi products are backward compatible, which makes the device work anywhere in the world. Challenges: the transmission breaks or slows down when there is noise interference. Wi-Fi has high power consumption.